Good afternoon, dear learners. Well, today we will speak with you about national clothes of Uzbekistan, or simply if we can say that, national Uzbek clothes. As you know, each country or every country has its own national clothes, traditions, holidays, parties and others. Well, and every country is famous for its some kind of traditions and clothes. For example, we can say India has its saris, and Japanese has kimonos, and any other countries like these. And Uzbek national clothes are also famous all over the world. For many centuries and years, our ancestors wore national clothes with pride. So their clothes can show us many historical elements of that time. Well, as you know, every region has its own clothes in Uzbekistan. Well, if we can count our regions, there are a lot of regions, 12 regions. Well, in many countries too, in Uzbekistan also has regional clothes, and these regional clothes belongs to many centuries, and every region has its own national clothes with historic elements. These historic elements are shown in the clothes of our ancestors. They wear these clothes for different kind of parties, maybe for different kind of holidays, for everyday clothes and for hosiery maybe. So well, as we say, the famous branches of historical clothes are national clothes, as you know, Adras, Atlas, Khan Atlas, the famous silk clothes, and Aber maybe, and these are dependent on its region. The famous regional clothes are, as you know, Tashkent Fergana. Here we can see that Tashkent Fergana clothes are not so blossomed or not so lightened, lustrous. They have a simplicity and modesty, but it's very beautiful and comfortable too. These clothes in the picture are worn by bride and groom at the wedding party. It's a style of Tashkent Fergana. Next, here we can see also the robe. In Uzbek it will be chapan or mursak, national clothes of our Uzbek people. These clothes were worn by people of Tashkent and Fergana region. People wear these clothes by their classifying. Here you can say that national clothes of Tashkent Fergana has its own modesty, and this modesty and simplicity are shown in these clothes. These clothes are called robe. It's a man robe, and this is a women's robe. Robe means chapan, which is made from cotton and material, from fabric. It has many colorful colors, and these colors mean something. For example, this color means maybe beautiful family. This color meant for people meant strongness. And here also we can see the jewelry of national Uzbek women. This jewelry were worn by women of Tashkent Fergana for the holidays or wedding parties. And also here in another type of clothes, national clothes of Tashkent Fergana people, this jewelry is called like zibigardan, as you know. Zibigardan was worn by rich women to the holidays. This is chapan. Kamzol. This kamzol is made from lustrous silk material or fabric. Next one, here we can also see the Tashkent Fergana style, and here all people use it to wear Adras prints and Atlas, Khan Atlas prints. And in past times or in history, men and women wore Atlas and Khan Atlas. But nowadays it's maybe unusual for people, especially for men and boys, if they will wear Adras in the street. But that time it was so, and it has their own style. Here we can see that the print of atlas, and also shoes, national shoes, which call it kovush, which is made from leather. Well, also, as we can consider as the national clothes of Uzbek people, not only the clothes like robe, the dresses, men's shirts, but also we can contain it like skull caps, national skull caps, and national jewelry, which were by women. Skull cap is classified by the age and by the status of population. These kind of skull caps were worn by Margilan and Tashkent women. Here we can see the women's skull caps. These flowers, this print shows us that it's for young girls, and this one is for middle-aged women, and this one is for all the population, all the women. Next is the jewelry. This jewelry is called like the bigardan, and it's complete. So the bigardan was worn by rich women, which has own status in the society and which have a great family with their children, and they have also wellness and richness, and they have also respect among other people of this society. Well, here you can see not only the bigardan, also we can see marvelous jewelers and tiara, which is worn on the head. So next region which I want to explain you, or which I want to present you about Bukhara, Samarkand region. First of all, I want to mention that Bukhara and Samarkand people like it. From many times we know that the region of these people like to wear lustrate and golden embroidered materials and clothes. These clothes are famous all around the Bukhara Samarkand people. Well, here you can see the Bukhara national clothes, and it's called the Salabandan, which means skull cap and headwear for women. And this scarf, which is below of the neck, shows us the status and age of women, Bukhara women. And also the types of robes too. Here you can see that sleeves of the clothes are longer, not short. How much longer is the sleeve? And so we can say that this woman has some respect. Well, next here we can see the bride's clothes. These clothes were worn in Bukhara by grooms in wedding parties. And here we can say on clothes we have golden embroidery threads. All works are made by hand. All works were handmade that time in the past too. But we know that some centuries has gone, and now in modern ways too, golden embroidery are famous in Bukhara, and it's popular all around the world, we can say. Fashion. Tourists, when they come, they are interested in and fond of such kind of products. They like it, and they can buy these products. Well, here we can see also skull caps, shoes, boots, and belts, which worn by men. And these boots are made from printed and national fabrics, and this fabric, I think, call it like velvet. These boots are for not old, but for young men. This belt shows the status of the man that time. Scale cap, flowers, and on hand, and with golden embroidery. Look, here also is we can see and perform Samarkand. national clothes. Samarkand national clothes are modern all of time. Samarkand, as you know, is one of the historical city of Uzbekistan, which have interested many tourists for many years. And Samarkand clothes also have luster and golden embroidery. It has a golden color as Bukharas. Here we can see men's and women's clothes, chapan, which was worn for everyday life, for usual life. And this one is also clothes, but it's not. It's like a scarf, which call it belbakh. It means, if we can translate it into English, like belt. This belt was for women, and black was for older, and blue was for young women. It is groom's robe, chapan, was made by on hand. It's handmade product and printed with golden embroidery ornaments maybe. And here we can say salah, which translates like headdress or cap. It was worn by grooms of Samarkand. Here we can say Samarkand bride, natural specific Samarkand bride, and tiara on the head and robe, which was made from adras. National Uzbek jewelry as accessory and fillet all the historical and national dresses. It was last year for national clothes of Uzbek people, and you can see here a lot of beautiful and amazing handmade products. These are earrings, which was worn by Uzbek women. It's called like earring also here, and it is bracelet, earring, and also bracelet too. It was worn by Tashkent Fergana women. This jewelry is called zebigardon. Zebigardon, most times zebigardon was suited for women, which has as I mentioned below, for women with a wellness and respect in status. They wore zebigardon for not only for everyday life, for wedding, for traditional holidays, and maybe for any other cases of life. Here we can see a lot of different types of jewelries, and the zebigardon, earrings, and for the regional we can also speak about Bukharas jewelries. Bukharas jewelers made awfully by gold, and masters of jewelry use it, especially gold, because Bukhara women liked it. It has many special luster, as you see, golden color. Also, here we can see rings, not only earrings or zebigardans, but we can also see rings. It has embroidery, which made by on hand. So, it's a typical historical Samarkand region's bride and groom. They have, as we know, some special tradition for in weddings of Samarkand. Brides of Samarkand can get on the right hand scarf or handkerchief, not to show their faces, because showing their faces counted as a shame. So they greeted with the help of the handkerchief, golden embroidered handkerchief, and to show their respect for the relatives of groom, for their close people, and for elder people. This calls like tiara. From the Uzbek languages part, we can say that tlaqosh. If we translate by word, it means golden eyebrow. Well, golden eyebrow is worn on the head. Masters, which have done these works, especially every time. We will continue our speaking or our conversation with the region of Kashkadarya and Surkhandarya. As Bukhara and Samarkand, Kashkadarya, Surkhandarya has some elements of golden embroidery too. But Kashkadarya and Surkhandarya population use it in their materials or their clothes. Most time flowers and some typical ornaments, elements of fruits, flowers and trees. They use it, elements of details of nature in their clothes. You can see here, it's a man's robe which was worn in Kashkadarya and Surkhandarya. Here we can see the flowers of almond, symbol of almond, and pomegranate, which means anor. Well, it means that a man or woman which wore this dress consider it as with a wealthy life people, or which has many children and which was rich. Well, it's a typical national Kashkadarya men's robe called yaktak. It was made by silk product, but not it wasn't original silk. It was made by rayon like biqasam. Here we can see the belt, Surkhandarya belt. It's a Surkhandarya national clothes for women. Women wore these clothes for everyday life, and women of Surkhandarya and Kashkadarya wore this. This clothes was worn in the region of Shahrisabz during 19th century. It is a kulta pushak in Uzbek and women's headwear. So well, it's these clothes for middle-aged men, and these clothes was worn in Surkhandarya during the age of 18th and 19th century. Well, this clothes was for Surkhandarya and Kashkadarya women. This clothes was worn at the beginning of 20th century, and this clothes called as the usual typical clothes. Boots, which was made from natural product. These boots or shoes sewed for people as a protection and also for beauty. Skull caps of Surkhandarya and Kashkadarya. This is men's and this is for women skull cap. So we can continue our conversation with showing or presenting national Uzbek skull caps. Skull cap is headwear or tubateyka, doppe in Uzbek language. Well, skull caps can show the region, age, status, well, and what kind of people were worn or is wearing this skull cap. Well, this skull cap is for men with the symbol of almond. Almond means richness, and this is also for men and with the symbol of pomegranate and almond. Well, these skull caps depends to Surkhandarya-Kashkadarya region for men and for women, for middle-aged and for young-aged people. Well, these skull caps belongs to the region of Fergana and Tashkent, and this very beautiful with the elements of pomegranate and flower for women or especially for girls, unmarried girls. And here we can say Samarkand, Bukhara skull caps, Kashkadarya, Kharezm skull caps. Well, Surkhandarya skull caps have unique peculiarities on each of embroidery, each part of national costume. Surkhandarya embroidery is characterized as brilliance, well, grandeur and major key. Well, Surkhandarya skull caps are made by specific technology like piltadoze, which means strapping satin stitch. Here you can see examples of samples of Surkhandarya skull cap. Next is Samarkand national skull cap. One of the brilliance of primitive trade of Uzbekistan is golden sewing, or, which I said, golden embroidery in Bukhara. In 19th century, golden sewers sewed robes, shoes, turbans only for emir and clerks. But sometimes later, this hobby continued for modest or for simple people too. In Bukhara, handicraft works of Bukhara population had been famous all over the world and many centuries. We can continue our conversation with showing Chus skull cap or volley Tashkent Fergana style. Tashkent Fergana every time like it simplicity and modesty. They have very beautiful and simple clothes, skull cap, dresses and others. So the main comfort is the usage of classical colors as black and white. It may be worn on daily and holidays too. There is depicted four top of the world. Karakalpak and Kharezm skull caps. Karakalpak skull caps differs from another region's skull caps with its embroidery and sewing. The popular Tashkent Fergana skull caps are with the blossom flowers and green, which call it Irakaduppe. Kharezm sandy region, sandy land is famous all over the world with its buildings, with the people, with the national clothes and traditions. So, as I said, Kharezm women and men differ from other regions with its embroidery and dresses, historical dresses. Their jewelry is specific in master's work, and here we can say earrings, which call it kaltabilte, and which was worn by women of Kharezm during the 19th and 20th centuries. Well, and this one is called like tahmadun. It was worn also in 19th century too by middle-aged women. This one is for bracelets of women, which was worn in 19th century, and women wore this jewelry for wedding parties. Decoratives of women in Kharezm. Its tiara, talaqash, spatially differs from another region's jewelries because it has some different beauty and decoration, elements of decoration. Well, national Kharezm clothes. These clothes served for brides of Kharezm. Young brides wore clothes like this: robe, dress, and also one robe and dress, chapan. Well, this shows the respect and tradition of shame also Uzbek women. Specific historical Kharezm men's clothes with musical instrument called rubab. Rubab. Well, this one is yaktak. People of Kharazm men wore these clothes for daily works. So well, I think I can give you some interesting information, and I hope like this. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.